Hey everybody, Tom Barnish, Chicago scene in the Ravenswood neighborhood for opening day week for baseball. It's like a holiday for me. It's been one ever since I was a kid. Comparable to Christmas, and a lot of people share that same sentiment as far as baseball fans are concerned. But the number one thing I hear from baseball fans at about this time of year, outside of whether or not the Cubs are going to win the World Series, White Sox, whatnot, is what's your favorite hot dog stand? So I thought about it. My favorite hot dog stand since I've lived in Chicago all these years is Byron's. That's why I'm here. You might have one. Why don't you let me know what it is, because we can all share together and try them out throughout all of Chicago. But I want to talk to Mike, who's the owner of this particular location, the one on Irving Park Road, and hear the story about he served Chicago-style hot dogs on the South Lawn to the President of the United States and other senators and whatnot. But this location right here off of Lawrence in Ravenswood is the Chicago scene for today. So let's go inside and we'll talk to Mike about this story and why Byron's is so unique. All right, since 1983, the Byron's hot dogs here on Lawrence Avenue has filled the bellies of many Chicagoans. And this man right here, Mike, is responsible for not only this location, but the location down on Irving Park Road as well. How you doing, Mike?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. Happy opening day week. Baseball's back, and I think, right?
We need it really bad. Everybody needs it. The whole neighborhood. People need it to feel good about themselves again.
Absolutely. I think people need it, and opening day means spring and baseball, hot dogs. And you've been around for a long time as far as the hot dog business is concerned. Since 1975, down on Irving Park Road, you opened this location a few years later. But talk about your experience in the hot dog business as far as the name Byron's is concerned. And your name is not Byron, so there is a Byron somewhere. Why don't you explain that whole story?
Well, there was a Byron. Well, the way it actually happened, it actually started in 1972.
Okay.
I used to deliver milk then, and I delivered to a restaurant called The Lunch Pail, and the owner of the restaurant was Byron Couris. And he and I got to be really good friends. I was delivering there. I'd do special favors for him, and we became real good friends. And he found out that I worked at a place called Tasty Hasty, which is back in the 60s and 70s. It was a pretty famous hot dog stand.
Where was it?
5446 North Milwaukee.
Okay.
And I worked there since in 1965. I started there. I was 12 years old. But anyways, Byron found out that I had this experience in a hot dog stand, and he said, I always wanted to open a hot dog stand. So that's how Byron and I got together, and we started there in 1975, and I helped build that place. It's the one and only time in my life I used a jackhammer. So we had something that we had to take down, and I helped take it down and helped build the whole thing inside, designed it according to the restaurant that I worked at called Tasty Hasty.
And you started that one, and then you became a partner in that one, and then opened this one in the 80s, correct?
Well, this one opened in 1983. I didn't become a partner until 1989.
Oh, okay.
And that was after we had opened another store, which was at North and Halstead at the time. And so then I was a partner then, and then Byron and I went on from there, and we opened other places, which subsequently have closed, unfortunately, but we're down to two, and that we hope to keep those two for the foreseeable future.
And this isn't just a normal hot dog stand as far as Chicago's concerned. I mean, you said earlier that your main dish people come in here for are the hot dogs. So much so that you had a certain senator who was a big fan of your hot dogs, and somehow that whole thing ended up of you serving hot dogs on the South Lawn of the White House. Explain that story, because it's incredible.
Well, the way it all started was after Obama got elected, he decided he wanted to have a picnic for the senators and House of Representatives and all their families. And since it was quite a big undertaking, they had a committee to decide what kind of food to serve. And one of the items they wanted to serve was Chicago-style hot dogs. And fortunately for us, Senator Durbin, who was a customer here, was on the committee, and he said, well, if you want to do Chicago-style hot dogs, you got to call Byron's Hot Dogs. So that's how we ended up. My wife and I ended up going there for 3 days to show them how to make hot dogs the Chicago way, our way, Byron's way, and we showed them how, and we served. There were over 900 people there that night.
Holy cow. So a little bit more than 900 hot dogs served up that day for sure.
Right, exactly.
Well, you said the Byron's way. What is the Byron's way? What separates you from the rest?
Well, first of all, the classic Chicago-style hot dog ingredients are mustard, relish, onion, tomato, pickle, hot peppers, and celery salt. That's the classic ingredient. So Byron's goes a few steps further, and we add lettuce and cucumber and green pepper to all the classic ingredients of a Chicago-style hot dog, and that's how we came up with the Byron's hot dog.
I've heard some people say that it's like a garden dog. Would you say garden dog or no on that?
Well,
They say run it through the garden.
you could call it that because of all the extra vegetables we put on there, and we also like to call it a meal on a bun because you get all the food groups, so to speak, and it really is a meal on a bun.
And for people who come by the Irving Park location, it's a little bit of a smaller place, more of a come in and order and take off, or you can eat outside. But this location on Lawrence, it's got kind of a 50s vibe in terms of the seating and the decor and the whole thing, right?
Yes, that's correct. This place was, the interior of this place was designed by Byron's wife, actually. And she designed the 50s style because that's what he wanted to do, and so she designed everything. And we've carried it through even after Byron's passing away.
So we are on opening day week. People are going to come out in droves for some hot dogs and some baseball. But you guys also have burgers, you have gyros, you have all sorts of things. You got a giant menu, which people can see in this video right behind you. What's some of your favorite things here? Besides the hot dog. Yeah.
Besides the hot dog,
Yeah.
I like our grilled chicken sandwich, and I love our burgers. Actually, our Italian beef is really good too. We make it ourselves. We don't buy it from anybody else. We buy big chunks of meat and we cook it and spice it up and make it right. So come on down.
Absolutely fantastic. And you guys are on social medias, on the website, and you even have an app, which is crazy. I love it that you have an app. But while you get your phone ready, what's the social media handles?
Our website is byronschicago.com. We're on Byron's Hot Dogs is on Facebook and Instagram, and here's our app.
Get that right there. Oh man! And you can order from there and the whole thing.
Yes, sir. You can order from
both locations there.
Lawrence, or you can order from Irving.
Look at that. All at your fingertips. Well, Mike, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And like you said, for the foreseeable future, I hope the one on Irving and on this location, which is my neighborhood, Byron's, for years, much continued success going forward,
I
sir.
appreciate that. Thank you very much. Go Cubs.
Go Cubs. And you guys, before I forget, are you open Monday through Friday, 7 days a week? What are you?
7 days a week, 10:30 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. That's the Chicago scene here in Ravenswood, TBARNAS at WGNTV.com. If you have a suggestion for the Chicago scene, that's tbarnes at WGNTV.com. It's time for some hot dogs.